I just reached 20,000 subscribers in just 4 months, and I'm about to break down everything that I did right, all the things that I did wrong, and some things that I would do different. Oh, honey, I hope you're ready for this episode. If you are, get your ambition planner, get your Post-it, get your pen, and let's go. Hello, Ambition Babes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, across all social media platforms. And today is very different, honey. Today, I am breaking down exactly how together, this community, Ambitionistas and Ambition Babes all around the world, have reached 20,000 subscribers in just 4 months. My mind is blown. I never, ever thought that I would be in this position. I never thought that I would be creating this video. I never thought that I would be celebrating any number more than maybe 100 subscribers. And here I am in just 4 simple months with 20,000 subscribers. All that I really wanted to do was build a community of like-minded women who are ready to level up, who are ready to reinvent themselves, who are over 40 and just felt stuck in life. And today I'm celebrating my first YouTube milestone. You guys, this episode is going to be a little bit different because I really want to break down my testimony, the things that have gone right, the things that have gone wrong, and all of the things that I would do over so that I can encourage, empower, and inspire somebody that I'm looking at right now to start their YouTube journey. YouTube and creating content is an opportunity that is still wide open and available. Everything that I'm about to say, I'm telling you from experience. And if you're counting backwards, 4 months ago was April. I relaunched my YouTube channel in late March. And so I'm going to break down everything that happened between April and today. I cannot wait to get into this. So let me just start with all of the problems that I was facing whenever I started my YouTube channel. I've been really thinking about starting a YouTube channel for a few years now. As some of you all may know, and I know that I've got a lot of new faces, so I'm going to break down my beginning story, where I've been. If you're an old head subscriber, hold on, I'm going to get to all the goodie bits in a little bit. But for all my new girlies, I'm going to tell you all where I came from. So I've been a business coach and consultant for over 17 years. And in that time, I've developed courses and classes and trainings and programs to be able to help individuals who wanted to start and scale their business with $0 in the bank and make a consistent 10K a month. I absolutely loved what I did. I felt energized. I felt encouraged and inspired by the women that really were like, I want to leave a legacy for my family. I've always had this dream to create whatever it was, a cookbook, a hairline, selling artwork on Etsy, but just didn't know how to get started. And I really enjoyed being able to teach individuals the things that were never taught to me. Everything that I've learned about YouTube or even starting a business, I've learned from the school of hard knocks. I've had to figure it out. I've had to fail. I've had to try again. I've had to start. I've had to have false start. I've had to launch lean. I've had to fail, and I've had to try again. And what I wanted to be able to do was create a pathway, a methodology, a rubric for individuals to be able to follow so that they didn't have to repeat the same steps that I did, so that they didn't have to keep starting over and over again, so that their first launch was their most successful launch. Because I wish there was a playbook for me, I decided that I was going to create a playbook for others. So, of course, I did that for many, many years. The pandemic happened. We lost a lot of our corporate clients. I decided to launch the Ambition Planner, which is a 90-day planner for ambitious women of faith. I developed this planner before the pandemic actually started, and I decided I was going to whitelist it and to be able to sell it to another company. Because at the time, I could not see myself selling a product. But God was actually like, I'm not going to allow you to sell this planner to anyone else because I gave it to you. This is something that I've gifted you with. So I ended up sitting on it. The pandemic happened. I didn't have anything else to do. I developed the planner, and now we have sold thousands of planners worldwide. So what I want you all to realize is that every single story I'm about to tell you today has been God-driven. Everything that I have done, I've had to do it the hard way because God has had to pull me by my edges back to the center and be like, didn't I tell you you're supposed to do it this way? Why won't you listen? I wish I wasn't that way. I hope I'm not alone. I'm going to tell you exactly what I've had to learn, so perhaps you don't have to go through the same things that I have. So where was I? So I finished developing the planner. We've sold thousands of planners around the world, and I just really wanted to get into courses. I wanted to be able to help women to be able to grow and scale their business. I absolutely loved that space. I was thriving. Everything was going really, really well. I was developing courses that I put on YouTube, but they were closed courses just for those that were taking my class. Well, fast forward until last year, I really started getting into the influencer space. I mean, I started getting brand deals just from the moment that I stepped on the scene on Instagram and decided to just try. So I decided about October or November of last year that I wanted to pivot into doing influencer content on my personal Instagram page. I reached out to a few brands and they reached back, which was amazing. So they contacted me and I started partnering with some amazing brands like La Roche-Posay and Daily Harvest. So I really started to build my brand and momentum in that area. So in January of this year, I was like, you know what, God, I want to start a YouTube channel. This is what I want to do. And I just started doing it. I didn't ask him what kind of content I should create. I didn't look up any competition. I didn't look at my niche. I didn't have any pillars. I didn't have a recording schedule. I decided I was going to talk about things that I knew the most: how to build a successful business and how your habits were going to derail your success if you did not work on them every single day. So I put out 2 videos in early January of this year, and I believe that I got about 5 to 7 views. I'm sure one of which was my mom. Shout out to my mom, my biggest supporter. She watches every single YouTube that I create. So I'm pretty sure that the individuals that watch were my mom, maybe my sister. I know one of them was my husband, and then some random individuals that ran across that content. Well, I had about 30 subscribers in January, and I just had this really big feeling that God did not want me to continue to create content. And so in February, I decided to do a 30-day challenge with Eric Thomas. Shout out to Eric Thomas. I absolutely adore him. I was so excited to take his 30-day challenge because Eric Thomas actually used to be my high school Bible teacher when I was growing up in Huntsville, Alabama. And so it just meant a lot to me to be able to support him, the things that he was doing, but I really came there to learn. I was like, I need to be able to do this challenge to be able to just pray and meditate on what God wants me to do next, because I was at a complete crossroads. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. The courses weren't going as great. The subscriptions were going down. I just didn't feel like I was doing what I was meant to do. I just was really, really lost. So I did the 30-day challenge and I said I was not going to create any content during that time. So fast forward to March of this year, and I said, okay, God, this is what I really want to do. I want to be able to create content on YouTube. I know that you have created me for more. I know that my reach can be further than the individuals that are in my city, in my community. I want to be able to take this up a level. And so mid-March, I was really just lost. I still was just trying to figure everything out. I was taking care of my dad, which at that time he wasn't feeling that well. So I was traveling a lot, going back and forth, but that travel gave me a lot of time to think and pray. So when one day I was back here in my home office and I decided that I was going to reinvent myself. And I started looking at all of the content that I've created, the journaling that I've done, even things that I've created around the planner, or the courses that I offered, even though they were about business, they were about recreating who you used to be into who you desire to be. And I was just like, you know what, God, I just feel like I'm not alone. I feel like somebody else out there is looking at their life like, I'm 40 plus years old. I have only done the things that I'm supposed to do. I've gone to school. I've got the job. I have the family, but I really am ready for what's next. I want to be able to level up. I'm ready to start my glow up journey. I want to look cute and smell nice and buy fancy clothes and go on vacation. And I've never been able to do any of those things because I've always been who I thought I needed to be for everyone else. And I just felt like it was my turn, and I felt like it was someone else's turn as well. So I produced this video, which was just me speaking into the camera from my heart. I really wanted to break down the 10 areas that I found that were going to be able to help any woman who is over 40 to be able to level up, glow up, and change their life. And when I tell you, this single video absolutely changed my life. I went from launching this video in late March from having 38 subscribers to today of having 20,000 subscribers. I just can't even believe it. Like, my mind is so blown because this video has gotten over 250,000 views because there was a need. You want to change. You're ready to reinvent yourself. You're tired of doing the same old thing, the same old way, the way you've always done it. And you're ready to just become the woman that God has intended for you to be. And this was my wake up call that God was giving me permission to do it. Oh, but you know what? Let me back up in the story because this is so, so important, because everything that I'm going to tell you about growing your Instagram is nothing about the algorithm. It has nothing to do with about your thumbnail or your pillars or studying your competition or doing market research. This has everything to do with prayer. Whenever God ordains your steps, whenever He tells you to do something, it is incumbent upon you to do it then. I told God, you know what? I didn't ask you when I should launch this YouTube video. This is when I launched it back in January. I decided I wanted to do it, so I did it. but I wanted this time to be different. And so I guess you can call it a fleece. I was like, okay, God, you know what? I put out these 2 videos back in January and I want them to reach 100 views. Currently, they had probably about 15 views. So I was like, if they reach 100 views, I will then that week create a new video and launch it on YouTube. That was the deal. That's what I told God that I was going to do, because I know that God speaks to us in so many ways. I know that He speaks in still small voices. And every time I ask Him for something and I ask in His name, He is going to deliver it. And so I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to ask you to do, because I don't ever know, because I always feel like I'm doing what you want me to do. And sometimes I guess I'm not. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Give me 100 views on one of those videos and I will record my next YouTube video and I will be consistent and do exactly what you tell me to do. This has nothing to do with the algorithm. This has everything to do with God. Because when I tell you I launched that video, I had 10,000 subscribers the first month. So yes, we have 20,000 in 4 months, but in exactly 1 month, I had 10,000 subscribers because I listened to what God told me to do and did it when He told me to do it. He told me that the content that you're creating is fine, but somebody needs to hear that they are worthy. They need to be able to look at somebody that has reinvented themselves over and over again and go through the steps, the tips, the suggestions that I have to be able to help someone else. When I tell you guys, my life has been forever changed just because I listened to what the Holy Spirit told me to do and I acted then. Oftentimes the Lord tells us to do something and we're like, okay, yeah, that sounds really good, but I don't have the camera, I don't have the lighting, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the mic. Wait a second. So speaking of mics, I got a new microphone because, we got 20,000 subscribers, so we're leveling up and things, because I really wanted to be able to test it out to see how it worked with my sound. But I had to point that out if you guys hadn't noticed. We always make these excuses of why we can't start, of why we're not good enough, or why we're not prepared, of why right now is not the time. But when God tells you to do something, you have got to start doing it when He says do it. When I tell you everything in my life has changed because I listened and did it then, I know I'm not alone. I know that God has told you to do something and you have that fire in your belly right now saying, you know what? You told me to do it a month ago. You told me to do it 5 years ago and I haven't. What it takes right now is for you to say, I'm sorry, and I'm going to do it today. Today is the day that you do what God has told you to do. I am sitting here celebrating 20,000 views because I listened. I am begging you right now to listen. God has told you to do something. He's given you a nonprofit that He wants you to launch. He's given you a ministry He wants you to start, a business, a hairline, a car dealership, whatever it may be. He told you to do it, and now's the time to do it. I don't know where I would be if I just didn't ask God to give me a sign. And when He gave me the sign that I asked for, I listened. So now that you know my story, now that you know my full testimony, where I've been, how I got here, I want to break down the things that I know that I could have done different, that I could have done better, and that I want to be able to, and the things that I want to be able to encourage you while you're on your journey to do as soon as today. So the very first tip is to look inside your hands. What is in your hands? Every time we look at the things that we want to be able to do, we're looking on the outside of what everybody else is doing. We're comparing ourselves like, oh, everybody's selling prepaid legal. Remember when that was a thing? Golly, that came to mind. So then we go off and start doing it. Or everybody else is starting to create a course. So we start doing that as well. I'm not talking about looking at things that are trending right now. What has God put in your hands to do? What are the skills, the talents, the gifts that He's given you? It's time for you to look inside of your hands and identify what He has given you. You have a purpose. You have a passion. And we are waiting for you to be able to develop that, to be able to buy it, to be able to endorse it, to be able to enjoy it, to be able to spend it, to be able to wear it, to be able to experience it, to be able to eat it. We're waiting for you to be able to do it. So today's the day that you look down in your hands and say, you know what? I want to be able to start a YouTube video, but I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what's trending. I don't know what other people are doing. Look inside your hands, identify what God has given you, and do that. Number 2 is to create a SWOT analysis. If any of you all have watched any of my YouTube videos, you know I'm pretty obsessed with conducting a SWOT analysis. I love to look at my strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and challenges to be able to identify what are the challenges that I'm going to face whenever I start my YouTube video. Based on my character, my personality, the things that hold me back. What are my threats to success? What does my competition look like? And then most importantly, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? I really love looking at my weaknesses because I look at them as an opportunity to flip them into my strengths. One of my weaknesses is I want to make sure that I have everything absolutely perfect before I start. I know that I'm not alone whenever where I say, everything's got to be the way it's supposed to be, honey. I need everything to be just right. I need the right microphone, the right lighting, the right chair, the right background, the right sound. I wanted all of those things to be absolutely perfect before I started. Then I realized it's not going to be. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. I'm not going to have the same sound equipment as somebody that has been doing it for years. You guys want to know a secret right now? I'm recording on my cell phone. Starting my YouTube video is not something that I spent thousands of dollars on. Heck, I just bought this microphone and it was a $30 investment. I did not spend tons of money on starting it. When God told me to start, I needed to start. And so one of my weaknesses is wanting to make sure that I have everything all aligned, that everything is absolutely perfect, as opposed to just starting. So now I've taken that same thing that I've always identified as a weakness and I flipped it into my strength. I make 2 videos every single week to be able to produce here today. It may not be perfect. The sound of the music may be too loud. My outfit may be weird. My hair may be doing something. I may have that little white line in my lips whenever I'm talking, but I don't care. Someone needs to hear the things that I'm offering. Somebody needs to be able to feel encouraged and empowered. And I can't sit back here and say, oh, because I don't have the right camera equipment or the right lighting, that I'm not going to be able to sit in front of this camera every single week. The most important thing for you to do is to actually conduct that SWOT analysis and play to your strengths. What are the things that you are absolutely amazing at? What are the things that make people so excited for you to come around? Do you cook well? Do you make people feel good? Are you inspirational? Can you sing? Are you a voice teacher? Do you teach people to make makeup? Do you make a mean macaroni and cheese and potato salad? I mean, do you know how to change tires well or tune a violin? There is so much that you could be able to produce on this World Wide Web, but we are waiting for you. We desire to know what you have to offer, but it starts today with you identifying what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges are, and play to your strengths. Now, I could sit and tell you all about how to get monetized and how to find your niche and building your pillars and scheduling your content, but you can find another video for that. There's so much information that is out there that is going to tell you how to be able to do that. I'll leave that for someone else. The last thing that I want to share with you, and the most important thing that I know has helped me to be able to reach 20,000 subscribers in just 4 months, is that you have got to be authentic. Let me tell you, you know when someone's not showing up as their true and authentic self. You can just feel it. You know whenever they're phoning it in, or whenever they're pulling all their points from ChatGPT, or whenever they're pretending to be somebody that they're not. I don't know what happens between here and the camera, but somehow you know. You know when someone is not being real. So the thing that is going to help you to be able to skyrocket your viewership, to be able to get the views, to be able to build a community, is to be true to yourself. Now, this has many, many layers, because as we're going through our reinvention journey, oftentimes we don't know who we are. Like I said before, we've been the mom, we've been the daughter, we've been the wife, we've been the girlfriend, we've been the single parent, we've been the coworker for everybody else, but we don't actually know who we are. Before you start your YouTube channel, I really want you to take time and learn who you are. What is your value? What do you have to offer? What makes you passionate? What keeps you up at night that makes you say, you know what, I really want to be able to help somebody to understand how to do this better, how I overcame this issue, what to do next whenever they've experienced why. There is something that you are going to be able to share, but it is going to take you being authentic and ready to share that information in order for individuals to know, like, and trust you. Whenever individuals know, like, and trust you, you're going to be able to build a trusted community just like that, because individuals are going to be able to see through the facade, see through the makeup, see through the filters that you're offering, and be able to see that this person cares. This person is coming from a true and authentic place. They really want to be able to help me. They know what they're talking about. They've experienced this before. Individuals can tell. So do the work and be your very best self whenever you show up. If you're cooking somebody else's recipe, baby, they are going to find it and they're going to call you out. That's the very last thing that you want to do, is be canceled because you're mimicking somebody else's style or their technique or who they show up as. Make sure that you know exactly who you are before you turn on that camera. Before you say that you want to do anything for anybody else, take a really deep introspective look at yourself and say, who am I? Why do I want to do this? Is it for the money? And that is 100% okay. But if it is, how am I going to still be able to help somebody to be better than they were the day before? This platform is built on how-tos, how to glow up, how to be better, how to change a tire, how to apply lipstick, how to be able to replace the shingles on your roof. This whole platform has been created to be able to help people be better than they were before. But if you ask me how to build a shelf and I show up and I'm trying to teach you how to do it and I've only done it once, or I'm following the manual, everybody's gonna know and ain't nobody gonna watch your content no more. So the most important thing that you have got to do in this process is know who you are and show up as your true and authentic self. I know I said tip number 3 was a final tip, but this is a bonus tip. Everything that you do it to the glory of God. When I was growing up, my mom used to tell us all the time, only what you do for Christ is going to last. If any of you all have purchased an ambition planner, you've seen that inscribed inside of it, because I truly believe that even if you are braiding hair, do it to the very best of your ability. Do it like God is actually looking over your shoulder and saying, that's my child. I gave her those gifts. I gave her that talent. She's doing it to be able to help you feel your very best as you're headed out on vacation. If you're changing tires or changing oil or changing light filters or installing a refrigerator, do it your very best. Whenever you show up your very best, individuals can tell, and you start feeling good and confident about the content that you're producing. Whenever you are not studying what you're going to create, whenever you're just hopping in front of the camera all willy-nilly and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to do something today because I said I was going to. I don't want to mess up my algorithm, and I don't want to not mess up my check that I get from YouTube. Individuals can tell, and it just throws off your confidence. You don't feel like your very best whenever you're not preparing for those individuals that you serve. Whatever you do, whatever you talk about, whatever it is that you have to offer, do it to the glory of God. I love to imagine God standing next to me, standing in front of me, or me selling my product to him and making sure that if I were to be able to sell it to him and be pleased, then I have absolutely no problem selling it to you. Anything that I do, I want it to be done with integrity. I want to feel proud about the content that I create. I want to feel like, you know what, I've made my Father pleased today. So my bonus tip to you today is that anything and everything that you do on this platform or anywhere in life, do to the glory of God. Okay, ladies, I know that this video was a little different from the other content that I created, but I really wanted to be able to celebrate 20,000 subscribers with you all. I am so blown away. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so honored that you entrust me to be able to inform you about how to glow up, how to change your life, how to reinvent yourself, how to create habits that are going to affect your life. I am honored to be able to be on this platform, to be able to have you listen to me every week. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. I'm like, I just want to just thank everybody for everything that you've done to help me get here. But like low key, I understand that moment now because that's exactly how I feel. My heart is so full of gratitude. I am so grateful for each and every one of you all who have subscribed to this channel. And I write you all in the comments all the time and say, you absolutely have no idea how much your comments, your thoughts, your prayers, your well wishes, your views mean to me. It means absolutely everything to me to be able to grow a community because, a big part of my story and a big part of even why I started this channel is that I've always longed for a community. I've always wanted a big family, people that support each other and rally together and pray for each other and level each other up and offer suggestions and advice and give constructive feedback. I've always desired that, and I've never been able to have it. I'm so excited to have 20,000 of you all who have said, I want to be a part of this family. I want to be a part of this community. So I'm super excited to finally be opening my membership portals. Inside of our membership, I'm offering live videos so that you can ask me absolutely anything that you want about starting your business, starting your side hustle, organizing your life, curating habits that are going to help you level up in business, in your health, in your relationship, and in your spiritual life. I'm so excited to be able to offer this membership to you all because so many of you all have asked so many questions in the comment section, and no matter how much I try to be able to answer each and every question thoroughly, I feel like I'm leaving things out. But with our membership program, you're going to be able to join, and I will then be able to host lives with you where you can hop online with me, you can ask questions, you can chit chat, kiki together, cut up, and get to know each other just a little bit more as we build this family. So that's everything about joining our membership program. So I'm going to leave all the information in the description below so that you can just click the link and make sure that you join. Okay, so the very last thing and the most important thing is that I could not have a celebration of 20,000 subscribers without having a giveaway, honey. This giveaway is super unique because I am going to surprise anyone that purchases an ambition planner with a second ambition planner for absolutely free. I'm only doing this giveaway for the first 100 people who purchase a planner. 50% of the individuals that purchase a planner will then be in the running to get an additional planner for free. So 100 people purchase, 50 people will actually be able to win, and you will be surprised whenever you get your planner in the mail and have a brand new planner for absolutely free, gifted to you from me. One of my love languages is gift giving. And so if you've ever purchased a planner from me, you'll notice that I write a handwritten note in every single planner that I sell, because I love to be able to just give an extra gift, to be able to give a personal touch to everything that I provide. And this giveaway is absolutely no different. If the first 100 people that purchase a planner, 50% of those individuals will be surprised, I'm going to choose it at random, with a second planner in their box. So that second planner will take you through the end of the year so that you'll never have to pause on reaching your most ambitious goals. Okay, Ambition Babes, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope that you learned a little bit more about me, my journey. I want to thank you all so much for taking this journey with me. I want to thank you all so much for just believing in me, trusting me every single week to be able to pour into you. This is my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what God has ordained me to do. So I'm so grateful that you come here every single week. I'm so thankful for everyone that has passed this video along to their girlfriends, to their coworkers, to their sister, to their mama. And I'm like, you know what, girl, you need to watch this, because we are all on a reinvention journey. You do not have to stay in the same place that you're in. If you're ready to level up, change absolutely anything, if this is the time that you're saying, you know what, God, I'm ready to start a business. I'm ready to be able to create my own YouTube content. I'm ready to start my own Instagram or TikTok channel. I want to encourage you to start today. Tomorrow's not promised. The next day isn't promised either. Because, the part of this journey that I left out is in these 4 months, my dad passed away. He passed away in May, and I started right at the end of March, probably about the 30th of March. By May 13th of this year, I lost my dad. Trying to be able to balance this new opportunity that I had to create content on YouTube with planning a funeral, with still trying to, maintain my own sanity, with me questioning God about why he allowed these things to happen. In the midst of all of that grief, I was able to host my very first 40-day challenge, and 712 of you all showed up for that challenge every single day for 40 days. When I tell you all, I am so overwhelmed with thanks. This really does feel like the Oscars. I cannot thank you enough. I know the music is playing and I got to stop this video, but I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude, because in such a short period of time, you all have taken everything that I thought I was going to do for this year and have turned it on its head. And if it happened for me, it can happen for you. There is nothing unique or different about what I did. And you already know how to talk to your Father. You already know to say, you know what, God, I want to do it in your time. I want to do it in the way that you would have me to do it. So lead, guide, and direct me, and he will do it. We're not fighting against the algorithm, honey. If this is what God wants you to do, he is going to bless you abundantly. I can promise you that. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching this video. I have got to stop it because I could go on and on and on about how grateful I am and how these last 4 months have been the absolute most amazing 4 months of my life. Thank you for being one of my 20,000. If you are not one of my 20,000 subscribers, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you leave a comment on what you would like to see coming up. This first 4 months, we really talked about reinventing yourself. We did the 40-day challenge. I'm considering hosting an in-person event in January 2025, but I want to know what you want to know about. What is some more content that you're really into that you would like for me to produce? I don't like creating the things that I want to create. I want to know what you want. I want to be able to provide what you want for me to provide. So please make sure that you leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm rooting for you. I'm playing for you every single day to reach your most ambitious goals.